not seen any sort of breakthrough, any action on this front, ma'am. Why do you think that is?
Well, fundamentally, our society being heavily patriarchal, we've seen that there's not a lot of positivity from any political parties to bring in more women. It could be any party, my party, Congress party, Bharatiya Janata Party, any party. And from decades together, this bill has been pending. And I think if I'm not wrong, it'll be 27 years now. When first the concept of this reservation bill got in 1996.
Unbelievable.
In 2010, there was a major push. Rajya Sabha passed it, but then it did not pass in Lok Sabha. So there's a lot of politics around it as well. But yet, the important factor here is countries which have given quotas to women in the political space have progressed very well because politicians, political leaders are constantly seen. So if you give quota to women leaders, they're constantly seen talking about various issues that will inspire other women also in various other spheres in life, which will then lead to an overall empowerment of women. So political leadership is definitely an important aspect when we look at the overall empowerment of women. And countries which have done that, like Brazil, like even Pakistan gives 20% quota for women, Afghanistan gives, Bangladesh gives. We are unfortunately behind in that scene, and it is time that we take it up. And the current party has a brilliant majority in the parliament, which is very favorable to bills like this. And 2010 Congress could not pass it because there was no absolute majority for them. So they had to keep most of their alliance parties happy who objected for whatever reasons, and the bill got stalled ultimately. So now there is a historic chance where it can be done. So I really hope this particular government takes it up.
You've mentioned, ma'am, and you started off with that point, which I appreciate, where you say that it's clear that every political party has been lacking on this front. It's not just one political party, and I'm glad you've transcended those political boundaries as well. But having said that, is there a lack of consensus also among women MPs who've not really ensured that this has been raised strongly enough in both houses? You've been a member of parliament. What's your personal experience?
Well, women in the parliament are allowed to speak freely on March 8th. Usually we get a chance, all the women members speak. And I've seen across the party lines, every women member, every March 8th, every Women's Day, they've constantly expressed this desire that this bill should pass across the party lines. They've done that. But then what is the action on the ground? And there is no problem in this world which cannot be solved by discussion. If the ruling party wants to call all the parties and discuss about this bill, it will be solved in just 1 or 2 meetings. If there are any objections to any parties, that can be addressed or readjusted. But then there has to be a step taken towards empowering women in the political space. And then there are again a lot of issues people raise. What about quota within quota? If we make women reservation, then only women from political parties will come, nobody else will come. So there are many, many negative connotations that people come up with. And I'm sure there are solutions for each and every one of that. Quota within quota, of course it should be given. Quotas should be on population based. They should be given. There should be a census and it should be given.
You've raised a number of issues, but when we talk about parliament also, there's going to be the question that's also asked, ma'am, about how there's a need to start this at the grassroots level. And for every political party to ensure that from every level, there is adequate representation of women at every stage. How is the BRS ensuring that?
Well, in India, most of the states have, luckily, very, very helpful it has been to the democracy as well, given 50% reservations to women in all the local bodies, sarpanches, MPTCs, ZPTCs, it is given. And as BRS as a party went further ahead, and we gave 33% reservation to women even in market committees, which are fundamentally where upper caste, male-led domains. We've made sure that it is 33% is reserved, and in that 33% women reservation also we give quota for SCs, STs, etc. So that is ensured as well. So on the grassroots level we are doing good, but then there is a ceiling for women. So when the women again wants to go to the assembly or the parliament, then there is a ceiling, and then parties do not take it seriously and give more tickets. Any party. We can't blame parties across the party lines. Not my party. Nobody gives more tickets to women because then they quote 100 things, factors of winnability, factors of various things they quote. unless and until there is a law passed, there is a legislation made, it is made compulsory that the parties have to give seats to women, then only it is possible. And historically, it has been neglected. And it is high time, I believe, when we want to become a superpower in the world, you cannot become without active political participation from the women who are 50%. Technically, we should ask for 50%, but whatever is good, 33 also, if we start, it is great.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah, and there are many solutions that people are proposing. Like, for example, my leader, Honorable KCR Garu, proposed saying, if there is fear in the existing male leaders that we will lose our seats if we give you 33%, let us increase the number of parliament and assembly seats and then accommodate women accordingly. So there are multiple solutions that can be reached out to.
Yeah.
So the initiative has to be taken somewhere. And in the last 9 years of this government, I've seen, because 2 times in their both manifestos, the ruling party BJP has said that we are committed for women reservation. So that is why we are demanding it. And then I've also noticed that there is not much protest or action happening on the ground. So we wanted to take that initiative as well. That's why we are doing a sit-down fast on March 10th near Jantar. 8th being a holy, we couldn't do it on 8th. So 10th, we plan to do that because from 13th Parliament session also starts. So hopefully there will be some kind of thought process that we can initiate in the ruling party or the opposition party or any party or anybody at all. Because I know one day protests probably won't bring about the great change, but if at least it gives
it's a
even
starting point.
Absolutely, bit of movement, I'll be very, very glad. And we want to keep doing this in the next session as well, because there are 2 sessions left and this government enjoys a brilliant majority. And only with this kind of majority can bills like women's bills be passed. So I earnestly urge the government, it is important and pertinent that we pass this legislation and give more space to women.
I'm glad you're raising this. You're going to be in Delhi, ma'am, and I'd be failing in my duty if I didn't raise the issue that everyone in Delhi is talking about, the liquor scam. And I'm sure you've seen all the developments that have happened with Mr. Manish Sisodia being arrested. Your name has constantly been brought up. Your name has been mentioned in the ED charge sheet. The allegation is that you're part of a South group, a South cartel, if you may, which was a part of the dealings in the liquor probe, in the liquor scam. What is your response to this allegation in particular?
Well, I understand and believe that today everybody in the nation knows that whichever poll-bound state is there have to be ED and CBI cases against the people and parties who are against the Bharatiya Janata Party. Bharatiya Janata Party has been doing that time and again in every state. So my state and me, we are not an exemption. Not only me, various other ministers and MPs in my party are also being troubled by these agencies. But we are sincere, we have done nothing wrong. So we will fully cooperate with the agencies for whatever investigation that they want to do. We've always cooperated and we will continue to do so.
So you're saying this is nothing but political vendetta with months to go for the elections in Telangana. The BJP in Telangana, ma'am, Bandi Sanjay and several other leaders have said you're next. You're going to be arrested by the central agency.
Well, this is the unfortunate state of affairs in this country, where a political party is dictating who should be arrested next to the agencies. And if agencies are blindly following that, then they themselves are exposing the nexus that opposition is alleging, that there is a clear nexus between the agencies and the government, and whatever the political party in ruling is saying that they're blindly doing. And I'll show you an example. Congress party was holding a adivation in Raipur the other day. And just a day before that, all their MLAs are raided in Congress in Chhattisgarh, and their trains are being stopped, power being cut, etc. What have we come to as a nation? You can't a political party even hold a meeting. Why should you have to disturb even a meeting? So what is the government afraid of? People meeting and talking, if they're afraid of even that, then that's really shows their insecurity, not ours. We are strong, we are sincere, we have not done anything wrong. So we are welcoming the probe, let there be probe. But the BJP party's machinery works to malign people's reputations, not by probing, but then giving away leaks, giving away various nasty news. They use toolkits to constantly malign people. Yesterday, at least, we found out 400 to 500 handles on Twitter who are just tweeting same content over and over and over again. So one lie, if it is repeated like 1,000 times, that is a concept I believe Bharatiya Janata Party is following. But we are not afraid. We will expose what they are doing, and we will work very hard to convince people that we've done nothing wrong, but this is political vendetta.
Your political detractors, ma'am, when raising this issue, constantly highlight that, look, there's proof that's been mentioned in the ED charge sheet. Kavitha burnt phones, destroyed phones that had evidence in them, that she was part of a group that paid 100 crores to ensure that, there were certain suitable licenses given and all of that. What's your specific response to these allegations in the ED charge sheet that you destroyed evidence?
Well, I'll tell you this matter is sub judice, but I'll still answer the question. I have not destroyed any evidence. All the phone numbers that the ED gave in that particular charge sheet or whatever, I'm not included, but somehow my name gets mentioned everywhere. Not a part of the case, but my name gets mentioned everywhere. All those phones that they say are missing are very much with me. They can come and collect it anytime, do whatever kind of analysis they want to do on it. That is not an issue. Second one, the so-called allegations of bribes being paid, etc. If you just sit and listen to 10 BJP people of what they exactly are saying, one person will say 50 crores, one person will say 100 crores, one is saying 1,000 crores. Another very important person said 1 lakh crore scam has happened. So first of all, let the BJP party and the agencies decide if there is a scam at all. And then you try and penalize people who have done it. So they themselves are not clear. So this clearly shows that agencies are being used to harass the opposition. Agencies are being used to malign the reputation of opposition leaders. But then people of this country now realize that this is the game plan of BJP. This is one of the fighting tactic of BJP to win the elections in the poll-bound states. And I don't think people will believe it. People in Telangana have been very supportive. They've been constantly sending me texts. They tell me wherever I go, we understand this is a part of the vendetta, so be brave, is what my people are telling me. And across the nation also, many people understand that today. And I don't think BJP will be doing any good to the nation by just targeting and harassing opposition.
So you're saying very clearly that all of this is a complete lie, that you didn't destroy any evidence. What about the other allegation, ma'am, that you were in Delhi last year in March, that you met with Sameer Mahendru, you met with Vijay Nair, who's been deemed as someone who is the kingpin of this liquor scam, that you met all of them to talk to Manish Sisodia?
Again, this is a sub judice matter, but then I'll tell you again, I have not done anything wrong. I have not done anything that they're alleging that I have done. As a universal answer, I'll tell you this, I have no connection whatsoever with whatever cartel they are talking about. And if they want to pin my name in that and divert the attention of the nation from the important issues that the opposition is raising, simple issues like we've always said, in Telangana, within 8 years, if we can give water to every household, why cannot the BJP government do it across the nation? Why cannot you give 24 hours electricity across the nation when a new state like Telangana is able to do? So these are pertinent, important issues that we've constantly raised, which the government does not like us to raise. Now, today again, I'm raising an issue of Mahila Bill, and unfortunately and unnecessarily, we are talking about a silly case, which is still not even a case, and an allegation which is not yet proven, a scam who nobody knows if it existed or not. So we are unnecessarily wasting the time of the people and so much bandwidth on air. So that is a tactic of BJP to divert the issues and to hide their failures behind using these agencies.
My final question to you, ma'am, you're saying all of this is political vendetta. With months to go for the Telangana elections, do you think this entire narrative of scam, of corruption will have any sort of bearing on your campaign, on the BRS's campaign in Telangana?
Not at all, because people of Telangana have seen us work hard for them. They've seen us struggle on the streets to achieve the state. After the statehood also, we never rested. We've constantly worked. We made sure Telangana is number one in many, many, many indices in this nation. Today, we've progressed extremely well. We are one of the brilliant states which attracts wonderful investments. So people know what we've done. So people in Telangana are supportive of BRS, and I'm sure with their blessings, once again, we'll come back to power with a thumping majority.
Okay, Ms. Kavitha, thank you very much for taking all of my questions on the liquor scam and otherwise. All the very best to you with your movement. We all wish you the very best because we also hope for the change that you're seeking with regards to women's reservation. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us.
You'll join me at the Dharna, Akshita. Thank you.
I hope to, most definitely. Thank you.
catchphrase, sir, which we've noticed here at MWC and all around the world since November, I think, the last time that we met, has been generative artificial intelligence. Generative AI, ChatGPT being spoken about all over the world. How much of an impact do you think that will have on the workflow on the tech side, on exactly how a tech company operates, on how our jobs will pan out in the next few months?
I am so happy about the generative AI. The reason I'm happy is it's the same way, because we are in Mobile World Congress. I'll give you an example that 95, 96, if you remember, India was one of the most highest cost per minute call, and incoming and outgoing both charge 16 rupees a minute. And those blind calls, call me back. I was from that upbringing, and I land in Hong Kong airport. There was this bank of phones, but people were talking on a mobile phone. And I came back and I said, this is an industry you need to be in. The convenience was 10 steps away. People were talking on mobile phones. So what happened? Mobile phone automated the public phone systems.
Correct.
It automated everything that came along. And I don't have to describe to you whether it's a health tech, fintech,
Absolutely.
media tech, whatever device it is.
Absolute disruptor.
Now, to me, it did not take away jobs, it created jobs. Now, this is exactly what I think about generative AI, that the use cases are there, and the more they get defined, that means more jobs it will create. Technology is the heart of everything.
You are watching India Today.
Well, if you thought that your artificial sweetener is safe for you, you need to do a bit of a rethink there. Studies have time and again raised questions on how the safety of these artificial sweeteners are being questioned. The latest study published in the Nature Medicine is linking sweeteners to cardiac arrest. I filed this report earlier. Diet Cokes, artificial sweeteners, sugar-free gums, healthy sounding, but beware, they may just be wreaking havoc in your body. The popular artificial sweetener, erythritol, which is used as a sugar substitute in many low-calorie, low-carb and keto products, has been linked to heightened risk of heart attack, stroke and death. The study has been published in Nature Medicine. The study was done on 4,000 people. It showed increased intake of erythritol, increasing risk of stroke in the past. Aspartame, found in sweeteners, has been found to be associated with increased cardiac risk. The results were published in the British Medical Journal.
People who have higher levels of erythritol in their blood have higher incidence of adverse cardiovascular events like stroke and myocardial infarction, heart attack and stroke.
This is found in tabletop sweeteners Equal and NutraSweet, as well as cereals, yogurt, candy and diet soda. Those consuming it had a higher risk of stroke than people who didn't consume the sweetener. What about stevia? Is that safe? The FDA approved only the purified form of stevia called stevioside, and this is considered safe. It is a plant-based sweetener, but there's a catch. Products considered safe contain words in their ingredient list such as stevia extract or stevia rebaudiana. If you see whole stevia leaves or crude stevia extracts at your local natural food store, don't buy them.
Stevia is a natural occurring sweetener. It is the best option for a reduced calories, and it can, we can use the sweetener in our food or in our beverages.
Doctors, However, advise moderation or elimination of sugar completely from our diets. Use healthy alternatives instead.
Well, let's tell you what exactly are the healthy alternatives to sugar. Organic brown sugar, coconut or palm sugar. Date sugar again is a healthy alternative. Raw honey or even jaggery. Doctors even say sugar in moderation is better. So in that sense, anything is okay, but try and avoid artificial sweeteners as much as you can is what they say. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani.